I'm pulling up my question. Sorry. Um, Obviously, at the press conference last week, you were really happy with the performance, particularly the first half. And I was thinking, long term with the club, the start of games has been sometimes a little rocky, even before your arrival, dating back for several years now. It's been sometimes the group comes out on fire. Sometimes the start is really short of expectations, and then they sort of find the game and put it together. I was wondering if there was something you changed in the warm up or the last days of training, or anything that might have helped maybe spark the team starting at a high level straight from kickoff.
No, we haven't changed anything during the warm up. I think it's a matter of preparation, like just being more mature, being more prepared, knowing that obviously the starting is important, but also what happens during the game and also the last minute. So I think during the games, there are a lot of scenarios that we need to try to control, if I can say like that, or at least be aware. Uh, but yeah, we haven't changed anything. But obviously, I think the other day we all were sorry very excited to come back at home. And I think it was a mix of emotions, but I felt that especially the first minutes, we were very good on the ball, also pressing really good. And when you just get success, the first 10, 15 minutes, I think that increases also your confidence, and maybe that was one of the reasons.
I did want to ask. I'm fortunately the availability questions are getting, the list is getting shorter. We're having fewer loose threads that we don't on our side know what's going on. But Casey's injury kind of came out of, I don't want to say nowhere, but I had seen her at training earlier in the week. Can you maybe tell us a little more of her status? Is it a recurrence of what kept her out for a few games earlier this year?
Yeah, she's not gonna be available. She's still dealing with her knee, and we don't wanna push her, and that's the only thing that I can say.
I have some more questions, but I will pass the mic to the other folks on here.
Thank you.
Ella, you could go ahead.
Hi, Adrián. Thanks for being here and speaking with us. We saw Sofia Cantore was at the game last week, but not able to play. Do you anticipate she'll be available for this Gotham game? And what do you think she can add to this team and specifically the attack?
Hey, Ella. Yeah, she will be available. Well, we know how how important she's gonna be for us, and giving us a lot of threats behind, runs behind. Also, she's able to play as a forward, play also a little bit wider, as a wing, going inside. So she's gonna give us a lot of quality, especially in the last third. She's a player also who is really good attacking the box, attacking the spaces behind the back line. Um, as a striker, she has a lot of experience, and also defensively, I think it's a profile that is gonna work hard in terms of pressing. She's very committed also on the defending side, and yeah, she's gonna be a huge piece for us.
And then just one question, because it's been a while since we asked, but was wondering if there was any update on Ule Sar and her injury and just how that's progressing.
No, she's still trying to recover. Still doing better, but yeah, again, I think I told that the other days. Back injuries are very tough, and the injury that she has is very complicated. So sometimes she feels good, sometimes she feels worse. It's been a little bit frustrating for her, and yeah, it's been a long time, we know, but we are trying to support her. But yeah, she's still trying to recover.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Andre, you could go ahead.
Hey, Adrian, thanks for speaking with us. When we talked on the podcast, which thanks for dropping by for that one, we had a question in there about having control of matches versus adapting to matches, and it feels like this Portland game was kind of a good explanation or a good example of what you wanted. In the first half, you had a lot of control, in the second half, you had to adapt. Was this kind of a good platform in terms of the way the game went? Obviously, the emotions of the way the game was won were one thing, but when you look and review it, was this more like a kind of a perfect thing to kind of show players like, hey, this is how we want to be. This is what we want to do in either phase of a game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Obviously, I would like to have 90 minutes like the first half, honestly, because the feeling that we had was that we were dominating and especially playing in the half a lot of time and being patient enough to move them, to disorganize them. I think we did a good job also pressing high, but also being compact in a mid-low block. So obviously that's the best scenario, but as we were talking the other day, you cannot control the game, and sometimes you don't know why. We conceded that goal, for example, at the end of the first half, and it changed a little bit the feeling. But in second half, also they modified a little bit, and also they had their own chances. So you need to be flexible, you need to be dynamic, you need to be able to know that during the game will be different games, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm trying to emphasize that obviously we wanna do our thing. We know what we want, what we are expecting, but at the same time, the opponent also they are gonna do their thing. And I feel like next game, for example, is gonna be a completely different scenario. So we need to adapt to a different environment, different style of play, different pressure. So we need to be able to perform also in a different way.
I appreciate that. And wanted to talk more specifically about Croix Bethune. You know, she's coming back from the injury, and before she was injured, she was in the form that like the NWSL has never seen. She tied a record that had been standing for a long time and did it with several games left to play that she wasn't able to play in. But she seemed very determined, especially in the first half. And then, of course, ends up with that assist. What have you seen from her in terms of also getting the best from her in different positions? Sometimes we saw her quite deep in midfield, but then also we also saw her higher up the pitch as well. Does she kind of have maximum freedom to just kind of go and impact the game the ways that only she can?
Yeah, I think she's a profile that needs that freedom. I'm giving her that freedom because she needs that. She's very creative, and we are just trying to optimize the spaces where we feel that she's more dangerous, and also sometimes trying to bring her closer to the ball because we obviously want to find her as many times as possible. Being also very versatile in the spaces that she's gonna occupy, not just inside in pocket. I feel like also she can give us threats behind, running from pocket, attacking the back line. Sometimes also she can drop wide, so she can come a little bit into base. So giving her that type of freedom, I think, allows her to be more times on the ball. And also, once we find her, and if she has time enough, then her talent appears. And then, just the magic appears, and she's able to assist. She's able to strike, like the first 5 minutes, she had a huge chance. So she's able to get into the box. So this is what we want. Obviously, we need to respect our shape and some spaces that we want to occupy, but at the end of the day, she just need time and she just need to get more exposures to find her game, and I feel like she's already there. So it's a matter of time that she's can be a little bit more, consistent, and she will keep improving.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Jason, do you have another?
Sure. Adrian, obviously Gotham's approach is very, very clearly defined. I feel like that's fair to say. And different from how Portland would go about their business. I know we're not going to get the full match plan or anything like that, but I
Oh,
am curious about, last week you told us in the press conference about finding the advantages in the match was so important, and it informed a lot of the playing the certain system or playing certain formation, etc. I'm wondering what you have to maybe focus on this week broadly to get the better of Gotham that is maybe different from last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Every week is gonna be different, but the idea is the same. So we need to find the advantages too. This game, but in a different way. Knowing that for me the big difference between Portland and Gotham, it's about the pressure. So Gotham, we knew that sometimes they come high, but they don't press that intense. So I think last week we had more time to decide, and I feel like that helped us, to find those advantages. And Gotham, we know that they are gonna press high but pretty intense. So it's a team that they don't want to give you time. So we are gonna have less time and less spaces to decide. So we need to make sure that we need to know how to play under pressure because again they are gonna come, especially strong side. They are gonna be very aggressive, and on the ball we need to decide and play quicker than last week. If not, it's gonna be too easy for them in terms of pressing. And then again, defending, we know that we need to do a pretty good job because it is a team that they are also trying to build from the back. They have huge talent starting from keeper. They use Berger, we know, as another field player. So they start creating those numbers with her. They are able to play inside. They are able to play long. They are able to thread you behind. Into the box. They are very dangerous. So we need to know that with the same idea that last week, we want to win the ball back as soon as possible, pressing high, but at some times they are gonna put you in a mid block, in a low block, because they are really good also, and we know the talent that they have. So it's gonna be the same, but I feel like the big difference is gonna be about their pressure. So we will have less time and space to decide.
Oh, and one last one for me. This is maybe a longer term question because of the nature of both Andy's injury. I know it wasn't just an ACL, it was more than that. And then on top of that, being pregnant, obviously, right now, I'm sure you're all letting her be a mom. It's a bigger focus. But I am wondering if you have a handle on, I don't know, a timeline necessarily. I'm sure there's not going to be like, oh, this is the day she'll be back, but is there a handle on her return to play from both angles? Because I think with the timing of her pregnancy announcement, we didn't really ever find out how far along she was from the knee injury.
Yeah, I think that's a question for her. She will decide that once she's ready. So we are giving her the time enough to be a mom, as you said, and also we know that she's been, recovering also from the injuries. Not just being mom; it's the two things: an injury, a big injury, and also giving birth. So the time enough that she needs. I wish her, sorry, the best, recovery as possible, and also I feel that she needs to spend time with her kid and also her husband. So once she feels she's ready, she's gonna come back, but no pressure with that, to be honest.
One I just thought of here at the end, sorry to tack one on at the very end, but obviously Trinity came through looking pretty good in 15 minutes, scoring the goal. It seemed like no issues physically. How has she progressed this week, and do you think there's a chance of maybe increasing the minutes she can play?
Yeah, she's been training good again, so she's improving. She's I think really, like focus on with the team, and obviously we want her to have a good progression. So we will decide with her and also with the medical performance where she's at, and if we can have more minutes, great. If not, great too. So we don't want to rush with her. It's something that we are going to decide all together. But yeah, obviously the good news are like she was feeling good with no pain. Also, she could have a huge impact, and also she's training good. So day by day, I think it's a matter of time, and she needs time also to settle, to get good feelings, and from there we will go day by day.
Appreciate it, Adrian. Thank you.
Thank you.